Hey Hope Church, family and friends, Pastor Matt here. It is Thursday, May 7th. Hope you've had a great week and that your day is going well. Today is also the National Day of Prayer here in the U.S. So it's a good time just to be reminded to continue to pray as we all walk through these uncertain days with the COVID pandemic. Pray for our leaders, our president, our vice president. Pray for our state leaders, our governor. Pray for our county leaders and our city leaders. Just a good chance today to be praying for all of our leaders. Pray that God would really be using this time of uncertainty to be drawing people to Him. Already we're hearing so many stories of people who are being interested in God. Maybe they've never been interested, but this is something that's happening on a national and even a global scale. So just a great reminder today to be praying. I wanted to share a verse from my own quiet time this morning. Usually each day I read anywhere from 1 to 5 or 6 Psalms. Usually that has to do with depending on how long they are. But today I read a handful of them, and one of the ones that I read was Psalm 56. I want to read you a couple of verses from Psalm 56. 56, verse 3 and 4, and this is going to be out of the ESV. It says, "When I am afraid, I put my trust in you. In God, whose word I praise, in God I trust, I shall not be afraid. What can flesh do to me?" And this was really just a very simple reminder that when I'm afraid, to put my trust in God. It sounds like such a simple thing, and it is a simple reminder, but there's really so much to that we have a God who is active, who cares about us, who wants to know how we're thinking and how we're feeling and what's going on in our lives. And when we run into times of uncertainty or fear, we turn to Him. But I think one of the most encouraging things to me from this verse was that phrase, "when I am afraid." It doesn't say if I get afraid, but it says when I get afraid. And that's encouraging because of who wrote it. The man who wrote it was King David. He was the shepherd, giant slayer, warrior King David. And he himself, he said, "when I am afraid." He didn't say if. So just knowing that a man who followed after God, a man who was a mighty warrior, a man who slayed a giant, that he got afraid. And when he did get afraid, though, is he turned to God. He put his trust in God when he was afraid. And you see, I mean, fear is a healthy human emotion. Fear saves us from a lot of stupid things. You know, I don't climb up on my roof and jump off of it because I'm afraid I'd probably break something or hurt myself. But as followers of Christ, when we are afraid, we turn toward Him. We put our trust and our hope and our faith in Him. In fact, 2 Timothy 1:7 says, "For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power and love and self-control." So again, we can exercise self-control whenever we start to feel afraid, and discipline our minds and our hearts to not just let the fear run wild, but to turn toward God, to put our trust in Him. So just a simple reminder, but a very powerful reminder for me this morning that I wanted to share with you all here this afternoon. So if you have anything that you're afraid of right now, I just want to encourage you to put your trust in the Lord. Give those things to Him. Also want to thank all of our Hope members who have been taking the survey that we sent out. I mentioned on Tuesday that we would be sending out a survey just to get some feedback on where you all are when we start to open up things. As our state here in Texas has started to open up, we're getting some good feedback as we think about next steps to meeting once again in our building. I do not have a date for you as of this message of when we're going to be having our first worship services back in the building. But if you haven't had a chance to fill out that survey and you are a member of Hope Church, we really would appreciate your feedback and really would like to hear from you. Also want to invite you to join us again online this Sunday as we continue our Standing Strong When Things Go Wrong series. So hope to see you online on Sunday.